Good morning and welcome everyone to our first webinar in a series of webinars on business recovery. I'm Judy Kruger with the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, and we welcome you to this series. This series is put together by the Los Angeles County and the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation. Over the last 6 months, we've heard from many microenterprises and small businesses and nonprofits that serve microenterprises that you need more resources in addition to the loans and grants and reopening guides. But you need some real resources on building e-commerce, on streamlining finances, and growing new markets. And we heard from you, and we're starting this series today. And we're so glad that you joined us. We have two fantastic instructors. We have a testimonial from a small business at the end. And we just welcome you to join in putting some questions on the chat box. And our experts will be answering those questions live. So let's get started. I want to introduce our very first speaker, who is Michael Irwin. And he is owner of Jacky Digital, and he is born and raised and still resides in South Los Angeles. He's a visual designer with a background in instructional and web design, and he has been working for years on building e-commerce projects. He founded Jacky Digital with a goal to team up with small businesses and startups to develop digital purpose-driven experiences that help businesses connect with clients. He specializes in designing e-commerce websites and apps, and he focuses on brand strategy with a foundation on all client projects. And he believes every business, regardless of size or stage, should start with branding. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. I turn the virtual platform over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Andrewen. I am a small business owner, an entrepreneur in the city of Los Angeles, South LA to be exact. I'm the founder of Jacky Digital, which is a digital design agency that specializes in web and app design and development. Our specialty is working with small businesses and startups, and we focus on the area. One of our focuses is the area of e-commerce. So today, that's what I'll be talking about. So let's get into it. I'll be talking about websites, social media, and automation, and how you can benefit. So why e-commerce? I came up with 4 benefits that can help help your business that I found would be beneficial for how your business could benefit from e-commerce. Sorry about that. One of them is reach. You can market your digital e-commerce business to anyone and everyone anywhere in the world. So if you wanted to reach people across the world, you could on e-commerce, online in your e-commerce shop, or just selling your product via e-commerce website. So it allows you to reach anyone. The cost is another benefit. Traditional brick and mortar shops are pretty expensive, especially here in Los Angeles. Uh, where the average square foot rental space it's pretty high, one of the highest in the country. So you don't have to deal with other costs, not just with rent, but insurance, um, utilities, if you have to pay that, and just other costs that kind of come along, and taxes, additional taxes that come along with doing business in a traditional environment, as well as the cost of what it may take to pay employees um, to kind of take care of your shop, or business, whatever industry it may be in. Availability is another benefit. Your e-commerce business can work basically when you're not working. It can do a lot of work for you, whereas in the traditional setup, you would have your hours of operation, And then once the shop closes or once the business closes, well, business was closed really for the day. But when you're online, if you're running the e-commerce business, it allows you to continue those sales around the clock. Marketing is another benefit in the e-commerce space. So even if you have a brick and mortar space, I know a lot of people do, but they want to maintain an online business presence. Um, Marketing is hugely beneficial to you because you can target your particular customer base. You can specifically target them. We'll talk about that some more later, but you can significantly reduce the cost of customer acquisition and get a better return on your investment in marketing when marketing online. Just as easy as it is to start an e-commerce business, it can be equally or even easier for your e-commerce business to fail if you don't have a strategy in place. Uh, so failing in areas such as investing in your online business can cause your business to fail. Uh, and that's pretty much a lot of these are regardless of if you're doing business online or offline. Solution to that would be to plan how much everything will cost before you launch. That should be pretty common sense, but a lot of people don't take into account and they don't do the research uh, that's necessary to ensure that they have sustainable finances to get them through any tough times. Um, Another one is competition. So a lot of businesses fail to recognize that there will be competition in their space. So it's important that you niche down or find the thing that's unique about your business. So whether you're selling a good or providing a service, it's important that you niche down and that you find what sets your business apart and makes it unique in any particular area. So whether it's what good or service you're providing, where you're providing that good or service, what time you're providing that good and service, how you're providing that good or service, the reason why you're providing a good or service. So those are all important questions to ask that will help you to niche down and to uh, put forward that unique area about your business. Another one is a poorly constructed website. Um, and just speaking from experience, not just because I build websites and design them for people in this space, but because I've had my own. Before I started designing websites, I had websites built for me, and I've had it where websites failed, and the business ultimately failed because I didn't strategize and I didn't know much about this area. So it's important that even if you plan on building your website yourself, that you consult with a professional e-commerce web designer. And I say e-commerce web designer because a lot of people can build websites, but when it comes to selling or promoting services online, where people are going to be paying online and where you're trying to convert uh, viewers or users to actual customers, um, that takes a different knowledge base. Another area is people present the products or service in a poor manner. And a solution to that would be to make sure that you add high quality images, video, and content to your website. Um, Images are good. Make sure that they're not pixelated. Make sure that they fill the frame that they're in on the website, whatever container you put them in, that they're filling the space. Um, Video is really nice. If you can somehow put video, include video in your website or in any of your content development, uh, the user tends to stay more engaged and it reduces the bounce rate on your website. Content on your site is important. If you're planning on scaling your business, you may ultimately at some point need a copywriter or somebody versed in writing for marketing purposes to come in and assist you in that area. So that could be a real help to you. Um, Another one where businesses fail is poor SEO. SEO, search engine optimization. And most popular search engine, as we all know, is Google. Google's your friend, as they say. Um, and it's no different for a business. Now, a lot of people think that, hey, you start a website, you get on Google, and you draw customers. But it's important that your website uh, have and contain particular keywords in its content, um, so that the search engine recognizes those keywords. And when customers search, they're able to your website ranks higher because it has more of those keywords um, that relate to what the customer or more relevant to what the customer is searching for, and so you'll rank higher. And even though Google's always changing those algorithms and how that affect how pages rank or how products rank their on their search engine, that's one thing that remains the same. Keywords remain very important. Content now is the second thing, and is the next thing, and mobile optimization is another one. So make sure if you have an old website, make sure you update it, make sure it's responsive, and that it is viewable on all mobile devices, no matter what platform. Also, the last but not least is a lack of a marketing strategy. The solution to that would be decide who your target customers are. A lot of people don't know who their target customers are. It's important that you recognize who your target customer base is, so that you're able to find out who that is. And then it makes it easier to market to them because then you know where that particular customer is consuming their content. And that's where you want to market to them. So if you're, for example, if you're trying to target females between the ages of 18 and 25, you're probably not going to reach most of them by marketing or placing ads in the newspaper. Um, that's not where you're going to find the most eyes. Yeah, you may find some, but you're not going to find most eyes placing ads in the newspaper or on bus benches. Um, you probably want to be on Instagram or a platform similar to it. So some of the popular e-commerce platforms to build your websites on are Shopify, WooCommerce, Wix, Squarespace, and GoDaddy is gaining some popularity. Shopify is an all-in-one platform. Uh, you can set up your shop. They can process transactions for you. They have built-in apps that allow you to set up, do some automated processes to such as email marketing, posting to social media, and other things. It's a really nice platform, and it's really gained steam really over the past 5 years. But this last year, especially during COVID, oh, it's seen a huge increase um, in revenue and customers and new shops using the platform. So it's gained a lot of popularity. The other one's WooCommerce. WooCommerce is the e-commerce platform um, uh, inside of work behind WordPress, and WordPress is the most widely used website development tool um, in the world. And WooCommerce is the e-commerce platform that's behind that. And so it allows you to create online stores with a lot of different features um, that can help you benefit and tailor your business to your particular customer base. Wix has a Wix site builder. You're able to tailor your website to your liking. Um, you can sell on Wix. However, there it is kind of limited, as you can only, once you're in Wix using that platform, you can only work on that platform. Your site will only work on that platform, not outside of that platform. Squarespace's has nice clean templates to run your e-commerce uh, store, or even if you're just setting up a portfolio or you provide some type of service and you want to set up a nice clean website. Squarespace is good for that. It's kind of limited as far as its integrations that it allows. But if you have a developer working with you, um, they can install certain APIs, which are third-party plugins that allow you to automate certain processes that you could do with Shopify or WooCommerce pretty easily. And GoDaddy, last but not least, on my list, is another one that allows you to build websites yourself. You can also have a developer, of course, or a designer design one for you on GoDaddy. Though they're well known for their domain names, um, they are becoming more and more popular with their site builder and other tools such as their logo builder and just other tools that are available to you. So it's worth checking out when you're looking for a platform. Uh, let's talk about social media. Social media has become more and more popular than ever. Uh, what you're looking at here is 2019 data, but as we all know, especially during COVID, 2020 has been a huge year for social media. It feels like everybody's either on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn is really huge, and others. So we'll talk about that some more. 72% in 2019, 72% of American adults use social media. Women used it more than men. 73% of adults use YouTube. Now, YouTube is not thought of so much as a social media platform. A lot of people go to YouTube to learn things. I know I do. Um, but it's a great platform if you're doing advertising to advertise on, because you know for sure people are you're going to have the eyes seeing your ads. So a lot of people don't think of it as a social media platform, but it really, in a lot of ways, it's just as effective. 3.46 billion people use mobile devices for social media, and therein lies why it's so important that your website is responsive, that it is mobile optimized. I always uh, recommend to my clients that we focus on their website, that we build it for mobile first. We prioritize the mobile experience over the desktop experience. And that's because more and more people shop on mobile and view their content on mobile devices, not so much on desktop computers anymore. So, some tips for social media. Facebook, tip for Facebook would be to use Facebook ads and promoted posts. Um, if you have a blog um, that you incorporate in your website or your e-commerce site, it's important that in order to reach a larger audience, that you promote that post. That's something that I do for my business. I have a small business blog um, where I talk about web development, business development, finance, um, financing your business as well, and other tips. And so I always try to promote that post um, to generate engagement and to also, um, reach more people and provide value to more people. You provide value to more people, ultimately, that comes back to you in the form of clients or customers. In the case of e-commerce, it's important to utilize Facebook Live. If you're running a small business, especially, people tend to engage with that because they're able to see like there's a live person behind the business. It's not a robot, um, and they're able to. It's a genuine experience that they're having with the business owner. So that's a great way to engage. with your community. As a small business, I would definitely recommend that you join Facebook groups. In LA, there are a lot of local small business Facebook groups to join. So definitely do that. Uh, and utilize Facebook Messenger. So when customers have a question or potential customers have questions, they're able to reach out to you. Another one is Twitter. Twitter, I don't use it so much for advertising, but you can use it for advertising. There's different ways you can do that. It's important to join conversations on Twitter and to use hashtags to point out so that you focus on different topics by using hashtags. And when people are looking up different hashtags, you may come into your post may come into view. LinkedIn's another one. LinkedIn's thought of as like a job board, but LinkedIn, especially in the B2B uh, market, a lot of business owners um, are on LinkedIn, and they go there to network and also to get information that they feel would help them in their business. And so it's important. It can be beneficial if you have a LinkedIn, especially. Um, it's especially helpful. But on LinkedIn, it's important that you prioritize video content because that's what gets the most views on LinkedIn, and that's where people feel like they get the most value out of what it is that you're providing. Um, and build directly on the platform. So a lot of people share posts from their Facebook, or they share posts. They share links to Facebook or links to their blog. It's important that you also use LinkedIn's built-in video and content creation tools. By using that, it's prioritized, and therefore LinkedIn kind of promotes it more, and you're going to reach more people. Instagram, as many of us know, is owned by Facebook. So if you want to market on Instagram, you'll have to create a Facebook business account to market on Instagram. Um, but it is highly beneficial to do so. And if you're not ready to start ads, it's a great way to open an account for your business and to build an organic audience as well. Um, Organic audiences tend to be more loyal audiences and tend to support your business more, or your service and what you're doing. So you'll have more engagement. um, you may not have so for instance, a business that has 10,000 followers may only have active engagement of 100 people. However, a smaller business that has 100 followers, but it's done through organic engagement, you may notice that you have 50 to 60% rather than 10% or less engagement. You'll have 50, 60% of people engaging with your content. And so that's where the benefit comes in. Next, we'll talk about automation. Automation is huge and has grown so much as so many more tools have come on the market. Um, these are just some logos of companies that are in automated marketing, especially. One tool that I use, I put down here on the bottom, is Zapier. Zapier is able to integrate and connect with a lot of these other tools that help you automate your business um, seamlessly. So, the reason for automation, the benefit, it helps your business effectively market on multiple channels online. So, email, social media, websites, you name it. There's a automation tool that you can use to help you with that marketing. So ways that it helps you is it helps you reduce staffing costs. Instead of paying someone to send those emails, to do that cold calling or cold emailing, instead of paying someone to track whether or not a certain item shipped or has come into your inventory. Um, you can automate that process. There's tools to do so that simplify it. You get a better return on investment. So by saving that time and saving that money, um, you get a better return because in the long run it ends up being cheaper, because you're not spending so much time and you're able to dedicate time to doing other things and growing your business. And the customers like it because instead of waiting to hear from you because you are physically sending off emails, they're able to hear from you quickly and they feel more secure in doing business with you. It clearly defines your processes and points out bottlenecks. This is important because when you're going through the process of setting up automation, you're going step by step in your business through your business process and the repetitive tasks that you have. And by doing that, you end up seeing areas that you can eliminate or that you can shorten, uh, condense, and make it easier on yourself in the long run. And so by doing this process, it actually helps you in that way as well. It boosts your effectiveness because you're free to do more, like I said, and also leaves more room for creativity because you have the time to think about how you can grow your business and think about different ways to automate your business, that you had never thought of before. Uh, Areas to automate in e-commerce are email. You can create automated campaigns and sequences based on different triggers. We'll talk about that in a minute. Social media is the same way. You have Hootsuite, um, Cloud Campaign, or just some where you can, instead of posting every day to social media, you can just set aside a day or a couple hours and create a block of posts and you just schedule those to post. You don't have to physically post them yourself. You can use one of these platforms to just schedule your posts. You set them up in advance and it will automatically post them for you on those particular days. And on that same note, you could even set up an auto reply. So, for instance, if you have like Facebook Messenger, you're posting on Facebook and you get some engagement, you get some reactions or people commenting, you can even set up an auto reply where your automation tool can reply to frequently asked questions, um, uh, that people ask all the time about your business. So it'll quickly generate that, and it could be doing that while you're sleeping. SMS or text messaging, there's ways to automate that. You have like Intercom, Salesforce, and some other ones that allow you to automate your text messaging, as well, and just auto reply to customers. And also, not just reply to them, but let's say your restaurant or your ecom business, your ecom retail business has a promotion that you want to get out there. Text messaging is a great way to do it because people tend to see that notification on their phone and view it quicker than they would a social media notification. So, an example of a typical um, automation the way it occurs is there's a trigger created by a condition, and that turns into an action. So, an example is a customer completes a form on your website. They created a condition that tells the database that submits their information to the database, and then that database initiates an action of sending an email to them, thanking them for signing up or for their form submission or whatever it was. Or in the case of a transaction, a customer buys something that set up a condition of a purchase, and an action is thank you for your purchase. look out for another email regarding your shipment. And all of that is initiated automatically. Automation is hugely beneficial to your business. So it's definitely something worth looking into. Anyway, that's my time. Thank you. Hopefully, some of this information has been valuable to you. Again, my name is Michael Andrew. And if you have questions, um, you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me at bit.ly/Jami30. And you can schedule a consult with me. I'd be happy to help you on your journey in e-commerce. Thank you. Have a great day.
And thank you, Michael. We really appreciate that instruction. And now we're going to turn to our second instructor, Frank Cepeda, born in Los Angeles to Mexican and Salvadorian immigrant parents. Frank has nearly 2 decades of experience in marketing. Frank is a leader in the world of digital marketing, e-commerce, multicultural marketing, and diversity and inclusion initiatives. He's currently serving as the director of marketing at EC Hispanic Media. Frank works day in and day out to ensure our campaigns are reaching the most precise and engaging audiences possible. And just a reminder to the audience, please go ahead and put your questions in the chat box, and our experts will be answering those live. Frank, I turn the digital platform over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'd like to thank the LAEDC for putting this event together. Myself and Michael, we're hopefully going to fill you guys up with a lot of information about e-commerce and how you can grow on e-commerce as well too. Before we get started, I'd like to talk a little bit about myself and the company that I work for. My name is Frank Cepeda. I work for Clasificado. Clasificado, also known as EC Hispanic Media. We've been serving the greater Los Angeles area for over 32 years. With the focus on Hispanic small businesses, but we help all business in general, not just Spanish-speaking businesses or Hispanic business owners. We help people with traditional marketing. We help people with social media marketing, content marketing, video marketing, email marketing, you name it, we can help you do it. Our website at clasificado.com currently is up to 16 million page views per month. That's another good asset you can use to get traffic to your site. And I'll talk a little bit about that more in the presentation. So again, thank you for taking the first step into learning a little bit more about e-commerce. Even if you're thinking about doing e-commerce or you just want to know a little bit more, I'll cover some of the basics, and Michael will talk a little bit more about the technical. He'll show you guys some good softwares to use. Right now, just talk a little bit about strategy. But again, thank you for joining us. And let me start off with the presentation. All right, guys. Okay, here we go. So tips for starting in e-commerce, right? El Clasificado, I covered that already. So in 2020, e-commerce sales are expected to account for 15.5% of retail sales worldwide. So, I mean, if you think about that, 15.5% of sales doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it's actually, this pandemic that we're currently going through has affected all of us in one way or another, but it's also accelerated the shift of e-commerce by 5 years. So the point that we're at right now, we were supposed to be there in 2025, but we're here now. And it's, e-commerce is only growing. It's growing so quickly that it's expected to take a 17.5% of retail sales by 2021. So we're a few months away from 2021. So what today we'll talk about is getting your store and or service ready for the e-commerce growth. E-commerce is projected to grow by 20% year over year in 2020. So this growth is even more pronounced at the beginning of the pandemic, with U.S. retail commerce up 44% since year over year since Q2 of last year. So think about that. It's went up almost half since last year. Okay, so then now you're probably saying, well, Frank, I do want to do e-commerce. That's why I'm here. So can you tell me a little bit more about e-commerce? And that's what I'm going to do. So the thing about e-commerce is there's a lot of different platforms. There's a lot of courses out there. You need to know, hey, where do I start? How do I sell products or services online? You can do both. You just have to be careful how you align yourself, how you create your marketing strategy, and what else you can do to help, to help gain those customers and to help get conversions on your store. What social media platforms should I use? I'll cover a little bit about that as well. Who is my target market? I'll show you how you can get into your target market and how you can get that market into a marketing funnel and get them down the sales funnel as well. How do I start generating sales? That's the biggest thing, right? That's the goal here. I mean, we're all trying to make sales, and we're here to show you how you can do that. So, the number one thing you got to ask yourself is, are you going to be doing paid campaigns? Are you going to be doing, Google PPC? Are you going to be doing email campaigns? A number of different things. And I'll kind of show you step by step as to how you can start getting those sales and what are the best practices to help accumulate those sales. So the platforms that offer you free or low cost e-commerce services, or you have them right here. So you have Shopify. Shopify to me is the number one e-commerce platform. The reason being is because Shopify offers a lot of third-party integrations. You can integrate Facebook, you can integrate Instagram Shop, you can integrate email marketing, you can integrate just anything. If you want to get into drop shipping, you can integrate, third-party drop shipping apps. There's a number of different things that you can do with Shopify. Shopify is free for the first 3 months. After that, it's $49 a month. It's pretty low cost if you think about it. For the hosting, they help you set up with the billing. Shopify sites tend to be more trustworthy when it comes to taking payments. They're really good. They're really secure. And then another thing you do have is you have your social media outlets, which Facebook has now started to offer free Facebook shops. But in order to get a free Facebook shop, is you can't just jump straight into it and start posting products on your Facebook. You have to have an e-commerce site, whether it be on Shopify or something like Squarespace or WordPress, and you connect that to your Facebook and or Instagram pages, and then that's how you get your free Facebook and Instagram shop. And then you have other agencies like mine. So you have El Clasificado. We offer $14.99 per week. We have services that we can create a website for you, create tracking, and you'll have traffic going to your website. You can monitor that traffic. You can collect emails. So there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different platforms out there, but to me, these are the top 4 that you should be using. Shopify being number 1, because Shopify kind of sets up the platform for you. You can take payments. You can integrate a lot of different third-party apps. So one of the number 1 things to think about when you get into e-commerce, so first thing we want to do, right? We want to get sales. Frank, I want to get sales. I want to get sales. Okay, so you can get sales if you follow a funnel. Create a funnel. For those of you guys that are new to funnels, I'm going to break it down step by step and what is incorporated into each step of this marketing funnel, and how you can do it. And I'll show you some examples after in the next slide. So think of a funnel of just an introduction to your brand and the different steps that customers are going through. And this is a good way to retarget some of the people that have interacted with your ad or have shown interest in your ad. So the way I like to break down a funnel, because a lot of the times people say, what do I need to do a marketing funnel? I just want to sell my product. My product's great. I like to use the analogy of dating, right? I know, stay with me here. So it'll make sense. So, when you go out on that first date with somebody, you meet that person, right? You're like, hey, this is a good time. And all of a sudden this person, hey, would you marry me? And you're like, hey, hold on a second. This is our first day. What's going on here? That's the same way you have to look at a marketing funnel. So the marketing funnel is essentially the first step is you're showing people brand awareness. You're targeting them on social media. You're sending them to your website. You're doing some other form of online advertising. And you're showing them the benefits of your brand and or services and products. A lot of the times you guys see, maybe unboxings. Maybe you can do a video yourself. A lot of those, it doesn't have to be anything really nice and shiny. You don't have to go out and hire a video agency. A lot of the videos that tend to go viral tend to be the more homemade phone. A lot of the phones nowadays, iPhone, Android, they have really good capabilities to record high quality videos. So the brand awareness step is more introduction. Like I said, use platforms like Facebook, Instagram. If you're like a restaurant, if you're in the restaurant space, or if you're in the hospitality space, you can use platforms like Yelp, Google My Business to showcase some of your products and do an introduction. And you really want to highlight those benefits of why they should be doing business with you, why they should be buying your products and or services. Okay, so and then also one step that's really important that I want to just highlight is collection of emails. So when people go to your website, collect their email. I know we've all been to the websites where it says, 10% off by signing up to our email list. Those work. Trust me, they work. Who doesn't want something for free? Who doesn't want a discount? Discounts are great. Everybody's looking for something, something, that little push to get them to get the email to sign up. Those are really good. They're easy to integrate on Shopify and just about any different website. I think Michael will talk about it more in his presentation. But again, don't forget, collect that email. Okay, so now you move on to the second step, which is an interest step. So then these are the people that have already shown interest in your brand. They visited your website, they visited your product page, they may have added to cart, they may have inquired a little bit more about your product and or services. At this point, you can retarget them with an ad, maybe highlight a bit more of their benefits, maybe show them some testimonials, maybe show them pictures of people using your product. These are great what I call UGC, user generated content, where you can have your customers share photos, create your own hashtag and look on Instagram and Facebook to see who's using that hashtag, repurpose some of that material. It can go a long way into helping people make a decision. And then you have email marketing. Again, like I said, if you've collected those emails in that first step, you can retarget these people and show them the benefits of your product and or service. At this point, if they've already shown interest in your brand, now is the time for you to highlight how your product or services is going to solve their problems, right? That's like the biggest thing for me when I'm shopping online. I want your product or service to show me how it's going to better my life, how it's good for me, how it fits into what I do, and what benefits it has, right? And then, okay, so then you move on to the third step, which is the desire. So now they've already went through the brand awareness, they learned about your brand, they've shown some interest, they've maybe, added to cart, they maybe asked them information about your product. Now, these are the people that may need that little extra push. You show them a coupon. We've all been online before where you're shopping at a store like Macy's, Nordstrom's, Foot Locker, something like that, and they have a very sophisticated funnel where they retarget you with a coupon ad or something to get you to buy that product. So then this is where the desire comes in. So you target them with a coupon ad. These are the cart abandonment people. Hopefully at this step, your funnel is aligned and you get them to take action, right? That's the last step. The action part is the setting up an appointment to hear more about your services or to then just purchase online. So if you've done all these different steps, you will have some customers to purchase and or sell your product or services. And don't be discouraged. I think the number one thing about e-commerce is have patience. Patience is key because on average, for every 100 customers you get to visit your website, it's a 2% conversion rate. So don't freak out if you have a couple hundred website visitors, you're not getting any conversions. It's the norm, even the big brands. This is industry wide. 100 visitors, you may get 1 or 2 sales. So don't freak out, follow it. You can just fine tune your funnel as you're going along, optimize it, change the headings, change the text, change the pictures. It could go a long way. It also helps your customers and your new customers know that you're staying on top of your game, right? That you're adding new stuff, that your product's changing, that that you listen to some of the comments that they made and you've made change to your product and or services. I'm going to show you some examples now. So I know you guys are probably saying, hey, Frank, like this is all great. You're kind of walking us through, but can you show me some examples? And sure, I think the number one thing about e-commerce is you have a lot of things at your disposal that you can create some of these ads in the funnel steps. So the first one, brand awareness. In this step, I like to tell my customers to use videos, tutorials. If you have a product, do an unboxing of it, explain the benefits of your service and or products. One of the biggest things is videos. Videos on social media do really well. If you have a video, like I said, don't panic. Don't think that you need to have this high polished, high quality video. Just get your phone out, record something. If you want to record your product, record you at your office and talk about your services and talk about why they should be using you. On the left, you'll see this is one of the e-commerce ads that we ran for a venue. SAS, think about that. It's not just for physical products, you're talking about services. So this is a service where we had a local hotel offering quinceañeras, so they can go have their quinceañera at the hotel. We created a video, we went out, we shot the video. We just took a 15-second clip, we uploaded it on Facebook, Instagram, and all we wanted to do was wanted the people to watch the video. We wanted them to watch the video, and then we wanted them to visit the website. We weren't looking for purchases or appointments or anything like that, but this actually gave us a lot of data. We had about 70% of people watch the entire video, 15 seconds. And you may think, oh, that's not a lot of time, but the average person watches 2 to 3 seconds of a video and then they click out. So if you're able to get anybody to watch your video more than 3 seconds, then you're doing a good job. Again, this is just the brand awareness part. You can get frustrated if you're running brand awareness. The first step of your funnel, if you're getting a lot of visits and no sales, this is the part where you're introducing your brand to the public and you're just trying to get some traction. You're trying to get some data. You're trying to gather that data as to who it is, your target customer, who's your target market. The second step is interest. Here, you might want to highlight your product catalog. And this is really good because if people go to your site and they see a certain product, then you can email them or retarget them on social media with different products that you offer. And they can scroll through. Again, if you collected emails in that first step, you can send them an email with your collection. And again, retargeting your website visitors via Facebook, Instagram, or Google. And then the last part, right? The decision part, this is where the offers, the coupons, email offers, this is where all that comes into play. They saw your video, they saw your catalog, and now it's decision time, right? So now make your offer enticing. This is a local towel company that's offering a 40% off. And this is actually only going to people that have visited the website, show some kind of interest. Again, these are people that we like to call a hot lead, that they just need that last little push to make a purchase. You don't have to go this drastic, do a 40%, 10%, 15% is good. You can get a good traction, a good conversion rate on that. Again, there's multiple ways you can do this, and then refining your funnel, that's a good step. You're just always refining it, changing artwork, changing text, and doing different things to make sure that your campaigns are doing well and you're staying top of mind with your customers. And again, one thing I know right now with today's climate, I know there's a lot of small businesses. As a small business owner and if somebody that helps small businesses, I know our budgets are tight, right? We're like, hey, I can't afford paid advertisement. There's a lot of websites that offer free advertisement. You can start off with elclasificado.com. Like I told you guys earlier, we get 16 million page views. You can put ads on there, get people to click out to your website. Same thing, OfferUp, similar website like ours. You can place your advertisement of your products and their services on there. They link out to your website. Instagram, obviously, Instagram. If you fine tune your Instagram, if you're doing a good job using hashtags and posting pictures and videos, interacting with your audience, that could go a long way. Facebook as well works the same way. Google is a really good one because Google is a high intent search engine. So when people are on Google, that's what we call, high intent person, because usually when they're on Google, they're looking for something, right? They type into the search engine, they've already passed the steps of brand awareness. They're already looking for something. They're interested in something. If you fine tune your Google My Business, you can claim your Google My Business just by logging in and putting in your business address. Doesn't even have to be an office. You can use your home address. You can use a different address. But yeah, Google goes a long way because, like I said, that's a high intent search engine. Twitter is another good one. It's little bits of short information. Works the same way like Instagram. Use hashtags, images, and videos, and you can get a lot of traffic to your site for free. Again, this is my contact information, Frank Cepeda, F Cepeda, Edit Clasificado. You can find me on Instagram at Frank Cepeda. There's my phone number. You can call me directly if you need any help, advice on your e-commerce store. Again, e-commerce is something that, two things you got to remember is patience and more patience. It's one of those things that where you venture off into the world of e-commerce, there is a lot of unknowns, changes day to day, but if it remains the same, you keep a good website, keep a good web presence, you keep optimizing those campaigns, keep refining your marketing funnel, and you'll go a long way. Again, thank you to the LAEDC for having this presentation. Thank you for Michael for joining me on this presentation and everybody else that made this possible. I'll stick around for questions at the end.
And thank you, Frank. I really appreciate all of that great instruction. That was fantastic information. Next, I want to introduce our testimonial. Jacky Johnson, she's owner of Fab 5 Enterprises. She has for decades been selling online in a digital media platform. Not only is Jacky a savvy entrepreneur, she is a published author. She has several books out on how to build your small business. She's quite savvy and she provides counseling on a weekly basis to a number of small businesses. Personally, I think Jacky is a rock star. I know her from working with her as a colleague over the last several months, and she's a delightful person inside and out. But she's actually really business savvy, and I look forward to hearing her testimony. Jacky, I turn the digital platform over to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jacky Johnson, and I am the CEO of Fab 5 Enterprises, LLC. Fab 5 Enterprises is a family run, owned, and operated business. We have several functions that we actually do within our business, but today I want to talk to you a little bit about how we pivoted to e-commerce. So we have online boutiques that, of course, were already using e-commerce, which, of course, kept us afloat during, the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, our sales did drop because people were spending less because of the financial hardships many people were encountering due to loss of their jobs and different things like that. But in some of the other businesses, such as our publishing company and with the business consulting and coaching business, we had to become very creative and we had to really get a virtual presence because we did not have the face to face opportunities anymore. So we totally pivoted to virtual class settings. We made sure that we had our website updated. And I know during such a difficult time when businesses are worrying about how to pay their employees and different cuts that they have to make, most of the time, if you did have any type of budget for advertisement or websites or things of that nature, you probably were cutting those things, thinking it wasn't really a necessity and you were just trying to pay the rent and trying to take care of other things. But the e-commerce really is such a powerful part of business because it really allows you to have an online presence and it really allows you to connect with your customers no matter where they are, and also introduces you to new customers. So what I would say is, number one, just making sure that you have your e-commerce things in line, such as Square or PayPal or Zelle and different things. I know businesses are getting very creative and they're accepting almost all forms of payment that people use. I know I personally accept everything that's out there. So if I had a customer who asked if I accepted a certain um, payment method. If I didn't have it, I updated our business so that we would be able to accommodate. So I think the best tips that I can give businesses right now, especially trying to recover and trying to strive and thrive during the pandemic, is to, number one, make sure that you have an online presence. Even spending a few dollars, $30 to $50 on ads for Facebook and Instagram could get you in front of a potential new audience. The second thing I would say is, don't focus on the customers that you do have. Try to expand and introduce yourself to a new customer base. And that's where step one comes in, at getting some advertisement out there. Number three, be prepared for your customers. So once your advertisements hit and people are looking at your website and they're coming to your website to learn about your business, your product, or your services, make sure that everything they need to know about your business is on your website. And I know a lot of people can't really afford in this time to get a professional site done, but Wix, Weebly, and even Vistaprint are great do-it-yourself websites. that you can easily manage through the templates that they have. And so there are so many wonderful, great things that you can do to really just keep yourself in front of your customers and clients in this season. If you were doing service-based businesses, try to digitize those, make them e-courses, um, sign up for have people sign up to do sessions and classes with you, and utilize platforms like Zoom and Skype to help you connect with people no matter where they are. So even though we've experienced so many challenges during the pandemic, it really is a challenge for us to expand and use the things that are available.
And thank you, Jackie. So now we will answer some of the questions live, and we will also take 10 of the most common questions, and we will be answering those in our email response to you, follow up from this webinar. So I want to thank everyone for attending. I appreciate your participation and your good questions and your listening ear. We are going to follow up from this webinar with a really comprehensive email for all of those of you that attended. And we're going to give you resources on county certification for reopening. We're going to give you resources on loans and grants and further reopening guides. We're also going to provide you the list of the next webinar series. That will be all in an email follow up from this. And I just want to thank you again for attending with us. Have a fantastic Saturday, and we look forward to seeing you again at our next webinar.